Yes. So we have an algebraic function. Three x minus 7 is equal to or greater than 14. You know how to solve it normally. And this becomes 3x is equal to or greater than 21, and your answer becomes x is equal to or greater than 7. Now, the whole point of mathematics, as I said in the beginning, is to challenge your logic. How do you see things? I have a specific function, which is 3x minus 7. When I place an x value, the answer should be either 14 or more than 14. That is what's written here. When I place an x value, this function has to equal 14 or more than 14. And when I get to my answer, which is 7, 3 multiplied by 7 equals 21. Subtract. Subtract 7, that answer becomes 14. But is 7 the only answer? No. My answer is equal to or greater than 7. What does that mean? 7, 7.1, 7.3, 8, 9.5, 11.15. Every answer that is equal to 7 or greater. Now, if I were to draw a number line, seven, how would my answer be if I were to symbolize it in this specific scenario? You would have to place a dot, fill the dot in, and then place an arrow. Why? Because the arrow represents everything else after 7. That brings us to the next thing. We have open dots and we have a filled in dot. What is the difference? The difference lies with the symbol. This represents equal to or greater than. And if you see, the dot is filled. Equal to or greater than. Same thing. Equal to or less than. The dot is filled. So if I were to change the equation, the only thing that switched is the symbol. That's the only thing that changed. So what is written here? I have a function. When I place an x value, the outcome of this function has to be less than 14. So you start making it. Oops. X is less than 7. Represent this answer in the number line. Same thing. So what do you get? A number line. 0. We have 7. Zero, 1, and so forth. If you notice, the symbol is a smaller than. And if I look at my symbol task, it has to be a open. Oops. Open circle, and it says every answer lower than 7. That open circle means 7 does not count, because if I place 7, the answer would be 14. I do not want 7. Anything below 7, 6.9, 6.999, 6.998, 6.17, anything that's below 7, your answer shall be less than 14. Yes.
You know, where it says x is less than 14 plus 7. If it's like lesser than, wouldn't that mean it would subtract instead of add?
What do you mean?
Right there.
It's less than 14 plus 7.
But since it's like the opposite, wouldn't it like subtract instead of add?
What is the opposite? Trying to understand. What do you mean?
In like the example we saw before, like greater equal to or greater than. The opposite have to be less space, less than. So if it's reverse, it's with plus than, so reverse it.
I have the same thing. There's no difference between these two. There's no difference. Sorry? The next chapter is simultaneous equations. I think I've been through this. Four point five. What are simultaneous equations? They are equations where I have two variables instead of one. So instead of only having one x, I have an x and I have a y. There are 2/3 ways to solve these equations. 2 to 3 ways. When you practice enough, you notice which way you prefer to use. If we look at the first one, x plus 3y equals 13. X minus 3y equals 2. The way into solving this particular one, you have to make either the x or the y a 0. So either this becomes 0 or the y becomes 0. One of the two. It doesn't matter which one you decide to make 0, your answers will always be the same. It doesn't matter. So in this particular case, I decide to add the two functions together. What happens when I add them together? 2x plus x equals 3x. Positive 3y. Let me place it here on the side. Good morning. Positive Fonsimang. Positive 3y. I have a positive here, so that goes there. Add what? Negative 3y, which is over here.
Senang, nanti diz passa para uma pessoa são duas coisas. Para dizer para mim, nós está querendo nos andar aqui, para você não tremendo comportação dia de lá, abai roupa e bom, de querer tudo a desfrutar. Gente, vou para cá assim. Ah, ok, bom, não visa nada. Se não visa nada, Senang, seguidamente, se manda para botar aqui 3 semanas. E mas não tem tempo para subir a hora. Não tem tempo para subir a hora. Se o banco roupa na sério, só que eu prometo que mestre você andar o mais duro possível, score mais alto possível, já vou cortar mais milhão para no final do ano. Mais alto vou prometer que mestre tá, mais alto vou parar no final do ano. Se não significa assim que você lá que mestre 2 que 3 cai, mas você seguir puxa também vai ensinar para botar seguro que você vai over. Yes? Então nós está bom bem? Nós está bom bem, Shana? Nós está bom bem, Shana? Ah, ok. So, está passando a tempo que queda dentro da classe ainda. Ok, bom. Éxito? Aiden? Tudo coisa bom? Anto, me dá tempo de coisa. Bom?
All right, thank you. So, as I was saying, you have the positive 3y. You add. What do you add? Negative 3y. And when you add 3y, plus and minus next to each other represents negative, so this answer becomes 0. Of course, the 0 you do not write because it's 0. Equals 13 plus 2 equals 15. So your x equals 5. As simple as that. But are we finished? Of course not. I'm still missing a y. I found my x. The only thing I'm missing is the y. So you have to take your answer and place it back in one of the two functions. It doesn't matter which. The answer is always the same. So if I decide to take the bottom one, it equals 5 subtract 3y equals 2. Because x represents 5. Basic algebra once again. Y equals 1. And when you're finished, if you were to get something like this in the test week, x equals 5 and y equals 1. Place the answer at the bottom. It's always recommended in a paper too. Sorry? What do you mean y 5 and 15? 3x equals 15. So x equals 3 multiplied by something equals 15. What is that something? Here it is. Yes, that is the first way. That is the easiest way. The next one is called substitution. 3x minus 4y equals 23. Equals 2x plus 3. As you noticed, this one is quite different than the first one. This one you use substitution method, which you have already used in the first one. What is substitution? That means you take an item and you substitute something else in its place. If you notice, it says y equals what? 2x plus 3. So you have to substitute the answer to y into y. How do I do that? Easy. 3x minus 4. I'll make it blue. Equals 23. What did I do? I substituted y into the other one. Because it says y equals 2x plus 3. So what do? I took the answer to y and placed it or substituted it in the first one. And all you have to do is finish the equation. (3x minus 8x equals) So x equals minus 7. Once I have my answer, you do the exact same thing once again. Place your answer in one of the two equations, either this or that. It's all the same. I naturally will take the easier one, which is 2x plus 3. So y equals 2 multiplied by, there is my answer, minus 7 plus 3. So y equals minus 11. That is the substitution method. Nothing you haven't done before. It's about muscle memory. The last one is about multiplication. You multiply both equations in order to subtract one of them. X 798. X plus 3 y plus 2. If you notice this particular one, it's not like the first or the second one. You cannot subtract something because either if you subtract, you will always stay with a variable. 5 minus 4 is still x, and 7 minus 3 is still 4y. In this particular case, you multiply one or both in order to cancel one of the two. It doesn't matter which one you multiply, the answer will always stay the same. It doesn't matter. You can choose 3 and 7, or you can choose 4 and 5. It's up to you. I will choose 4 and 5, meaning I need the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5, which is 20. So I multiply the top equation with 4, and I multiply the bottom equation with 5. 5 times 4x, 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times 7y, 28y. 4 times 18, we have 72. 5 times 4x, also 20x. 5 times 3y, 15y. 2 times 5, 10. And now I am back to my original equation. What was the original equation? Like this. I can just subtract one of them for one to become a 0. So what do? I subtract both equations from each other. 20x, subtract 20x, 0, no need to write it. 28, subtract 15, 13y, 72 minus 10, 62. I see some people, well, I know some people will not be here next year. So keep doing what you're doing. You already are average 2.4, if I'm not mistaken. In the test week, probably lower. So you can already expect. If you don't want to be here, just be outside. $13y equals 62. You divide 62 by 13 because 13 multiplied by something is 62. So what do? 62 divided by 13. And that answer becomes, is that 4? No, it cannot be 4. Wait, I may have made a mistake somewhere. Let's see, 7, unless that is the answer. Yes, that is the answer. It's uncommon. $4.77. And then what do? What you already did. Place the answer in one of the two equations. You decide which one. Either in this, that one, this one, or that one. It doesn't matter. So 4x plus 3 4.77 equals 2. $31 equals 2. Then x becomes 3.08. That was multiplication method 4.5 simultaneous